Pickaxe.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cast Party. My name is Colin McManus, and I will be your director for today. I'm joined by Anna Brisbane.
Oh my God! I'm first. Lenore Devere, Chaos, very excited to push all the buttons.
Vince Perino.
Hi, Vince Perino playing Tevin Alk in the Mechanism of Discovery, reconstructing memories one piece at a time.
And Luis Carrazzo.
Hello, I'm Luis Carrazzo. I'm playing Santos, the Clavinator.
That's right. Like last time, we have only a portion of our party here because last episode we saw Bjorg and Jackal head through the door colored green for Bjorg's aura. But in this session, we are jumping back in with the three of you headed through Lenore's lavender colored door. You all traversed the mental training once more. You picked your seed, where it would grow, and what to prune off of yourselves, eventually leading to this single door colored lavender on one side and green on the other. And you split up into your two groups. And Lenore, you did a quick countdown and you burst through the lavender door. Now, each of you enter in and find yourselves in a hallway. Same hallway Lenore saw the previous night when you peeked your head in. Again, this is definitely a lavish mansion from the looks of this hallway. The walls are red with golden accents, but the colors are muted. Everything's a bit gray. You see some individuals ahead of you in a much larger room at the end of the hallway. It looks like it opens up quite a bit. And there are individuals here in ball gowns, and they are also gray and unmoving. There are a few doors here in this hallway. All of them are shut and ahead through the entrance to what looks to be the ballroom ahead at the end of the hallway. You can see there's a light pink glow coming from the right side, but you can't see where it's coming from. And so the scene is set. The question is, what will you do next?
They're frozen?
Yeah, they're about 30, 40 feet ahead of you right now, but you should see they're like statues unmoving.
Is there any music?
You do not hear any music currently.
Whoa, it's like a snapshot.
Is this familiar to you, Lenore?
No.
And none of them look familiar to you?
I don't know. Let me go look. I'm gonna fly forward.
I'm right behind you.
Everything is eerily quiet as you are walking and flying. Footsteps are not making noise as you move down this hallway. Lenore, your wings are not making sound as they flap. It's basically just silence as nothing is moving around you.
I'm gonna clap.
You feel a connection in your hands. You hear the initial clap, and what you would expect an echo for being in this hallway, you don't hear that. It's just the initial thud.
Well, and when we talk to each other, does it feel like we're hearing it in our heads or we hear it in the air?
You hear it in the air, but similarly, especially if someone talks loud, you're not hearing an echo like that could happen in what is a pretty open area like this. Everyone's almost sounds a little bit flat because there is no like natural reverb to their voices.
This is weird.
It's like it's dampening our sound.
So we can be as loud as we want.
Maybe. I think I'm following Lenore's lead, and if you're going up to like what we think are statues, I'm gonna tap you on the shoulder. I'm gonna cast guidance on you immediately. You're in charge here. I don't know who else to follow but you. This is supposed to be your door.
Okay.
We are here for you, so let us know what you need.
Okay. I don't know what this is. Flying in.
You reach the ballroom, Lenore, and it is beautiful. And it's a little familiar to you. You had a memory of this ballroom when you were first exposed to the astral bloom the first time with Chana. And you see the same dancing flames on the stage, the jellyfish-like chandeliers floating in the air above you. There is a balcony that you remember you couldn't keep your eyes off of in this memory, with these dancing vines that would sway to the music. And of course, a bunch of extravagantly dressed people. Except this time, everything is still. Everything is gray. no individuals are moving here. All the stuff that you saw moving in that memory is not moving. Now that you're at this ballroom, you see there is a light pink glow coming from a group of individuals closer to the main entrance to the ballroom towards your right. If we're saying the ballroom runs like south to north, the south would be the entrance. You're coming in from the west, from already inside this mansion.
This is where I saw I got in trouble during the party, during that vision with the bloom.
Oh.
When we first met.
How did you get in trouble?
I don't know, they were like kicking me out.
Kicking you out from here?
Yeah. I don't know, someone was after me.
Which direction were they taking you?
I don't remember. What's that way? I fly off.
You're flying towards that pink glow.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm going to do right before I follow is just glance over at the expression on the statues. Even if I had seen them before, now recognizing that Lenore was probably in trouble the last time she was here, if that's how this thing works, I just want to see if there's fear on their faces or joy, or just if I can get a read on whatever their statue faces might say.
The first two that you were walking by have these big smiles on their faces. One looks like they're mid-laugh. Their head is back as they're walking, but again, like a snapshot in time.
Mm-hmm.
This is a big group here. This is like the ballroom. There are people up there, people dancing. You see waiters moving around with trays and things, handing out glasses. All of these people seem to be in high spirits, or some of the waiters and stuff look like a little bit stressed, like they got a lot going on, but none seem like angry.
Okay. Taking note that nothing negative has happened, at least at this frozen moment yet. So I'll follow Lenore from there.
I want to follow with them too, but as I'm coming along, like I'm back a little bit from them, and I want to just poke one of the statues and see if anything happens as I'm walking along.
You find a lizard folk woman who has a very bright pink hat that is as large as an umbrella coming out and down. It's got like a floppy rim to it with just hundreds of different flowers all over the top that have been like stitched in it. And you go over and you touch her shoulder. And as you touch it, you don't feel anything. You put your hand and you can't push through it. It feels like there's an immovable force, but there's no temperature. It doesn't have a texture. It doesn't feel like concrete or stone. It feels like there's no texture to the surface at all. It's like you're touching nothing, but you can't move your hand through the beam.
Like magnet, like repelling sort of thing. I don't know.
Kind of, but you know how magnets sometimes do like that, like wavering thing when you get close?
Yeah.
It doesn't do that. It is
Yeah.
just a solid stop.
This new sensation I've never had. I quickly pull my hand back and give a little like, and kind of scamper on forward a little bit faster to the rest of the group.
You guys are moving by individuals of all kinds. There are fish people. There are gnomes. There are gith. There are people made entirely of flames. There are people with beaks, bird people, and they are all just dressed in extravagant dress. We are talking dresses with hundreds of adornments, dresses made completely of feathers or flowers. Just wild accessories are everywhere. You see one individual wearing a full charcuterie board as a hat that other people are actively grabbing from to eat from. There's a massive giant here who has somehow made it inside this building. They're easily 12 foot tall, and they're wearing a full stained glass window as a necklace. And as you are flying through, you are following this pink glow. It leads you to an extravagantly dressed individual like everyone here. Her skin is fully blue and scaly, and her gown looks to be made entirely of seaweed and barnacles. And she doesn't have legs, but she is rather slithering on a mermaid-like tail. Her hair is also blue, but has a little bit more of a greenish hue to it. And atop her head is an entire fishbowl. And there's no water inside. There's a couple of sprigs of seaweed floating, and there's floating illusory fish. as well as at the bottom, there's a tiny treasure chest. And this treasure chest is where that pink glow is coming from.
To be clear, the bowl's like on top of her head like a hat, not like a helmet, right?
More like a hat.
What? Look at this!
Yeah.
The pink glow specifically from that, and that was reaching all the way into the like other side.
It was bright, and as you got closer and closer, it's almost been naturally muting to your eyes. Like it's still bright, and it's definitely from the treasure chest itself.
The treasure chest is open?
It is closed.
Oh.
What is that?
I don't know, but I'm going to cast Detect Magic.
Oh.
Okay, it's definitely magical. I think what is weird here is that everything around you glows, Santos. Definitely like all of the gray is giving a little bit of a glow here. You've seen it much before. This is like memory style magic, stuff that you have interacted with plenty before. You get the same feeling from your rings that they're made from the moon pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But the treasure chest itself, I'm going to ask you to roll me straight up charisma.
Oh, no. My charisma is a -1.
Oh.
Oh, no. I rolled a 2. -1 is 1.
Dirty one.
A dirty one. Oh, gosh.
Hell yeah.
You are not sure where this magic could come from, what connects this magic to something, but it feels familiar and it feels chaotic and it feels like something you don't want to open because you don't want to know what's in there.
I get a weird feeling from this. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know if you should open it.
I can put my finger on it. Maybe. I'm gonna try to reach into the bowl. Is it open on top?
Yeah, it's open on top. It's harder for everyone else, maybe Tevin because he's taller, but you are able to just fly right up and put your hand in if you'd like.
There's no water, right?
There's no water.
I'm backing away.
I want to touch something else in the bowl first.
Very much exactly like what I described to Tevin. Even something like the seaweed that should fold and bend. It is hard as a rock, but it doesn't feel like a rock. It's just there is matter there.
I want to try to grab the treasure chest. Pick it up.
You put your hand on either side and there's a warmth coming from it. But as you try to move it, it does not budge whatsoever.
It's warm. It won't move.
You feel something from it.
It's warm.
Oh my gosh.
Try blowing on it.
Okay. I blow into the fishbowl.
Okay, yeah, you do so. You feel the air come back out at you. If you blow into like a mug or something that's empty, blows your hair a little bit.
It's a fishbowl. What if we pour water in it?
While you're touching the treasure chest, you almost feel like it feels right with your hand on it. Like it feels familiar.
It's like ergonomic. I'm gonna try to flick it open.
I close my eyes.
You go to flick open the treasure chest and it opens. And you are all suddenly bombarded with noise as the scene comes to life. All of the gray around you fades to vibrant colors and you're hearing music and loud laughter and talking and a cacophony of a party that starts all at once. Everything around you is now moving. There's people, there's laughing, there's dancing, there's eating. And Lenore,
I fly up.
from inside this treasure chest, you watch as a small fairy pushes open the lid as you open it, and you see about a 2-inch tall Lenore fly out. And she immediately has a big, whoa, look on her face as she looks around, and then she starts flying through the party.
She doesn't look at us at all?
No.
What?
There is a mess of people here now moving around and about, and you're trying to watch where this little fairy Lenore is going, and it would be like impossible to follow her in this crowd, but luckily for you, she seems to be leaving a faint trail of pink aura as she flies.
It's Tiny Me! It's Tiny Me! I'm following me.
Oh no. You're probably up to no good.
Do we close the chest before we go?
No!
Oh.
You say this, Tevin, and you watch as the woman's just continuing to like slither through the party. She's like going to grab a drink now. Now just the treasure chest is open and it's giving like those little bubbles every once in a while, like it would if it was in a fish tank.
Whoa. I'm giving chase right behind Lenore.
Yeah.
Do I get the feeling that this tiny me is that how small I would be if I cast it reduce on myself? Or is it smaller?
It's smaller.
Okay.
Because you would probably be maybe a foot tall with reduce. This is 2 inches tall. This is small.
When we start moving, do any of the patrons here like notice us?
You quickly realize that people are walking through you.
Whoa.
Okay.
But not in a fun way. They start walking and they push you out of the way, not actively. They're just walking, but they feel like these immovable forces. You are getting like knocked around by these individuals.
Ooh.
They don't go through you. They push through you.
Oh.
There's no recognition in their eyes that you're there. Even if someone starts to push you, you try to push against them. It feels like the most futile effort you've ever had.
I'm following me.
Yep.
You follow the path and you watch as every once in a while you get a peek of this tiny Lenore and you see that she heads for the hallway that you guys actually just came in from. And you see she looks around quickly before flying through the keyhole of one of these doors that you had passed earlier. And as she does, the ballroom behind you begins to slow and turn gray and silent again
What the heck?
as everything stops moving and the sound stops.
The further little Lenore gets away from it.
Yeah, it seems.
That's a good way to put it.
Did we notice anybody in the ballroom taking note of little Lenore as she flew past?
Ooh, go ahead and roll me perception.
Oh, there we go.
That's a 19.
There was a lot going on. It's hard to tell exactly. You did not realize anyone checking or even seeing Lenore. And it was hard for you guys, and you knew exactly what you were looking for. If you weren't looking for a little teeny tiny 2-inch fairy and seeing this like pink aura from behind her, it would be really hard to notice. So you think probably no one saw. I will say with a 19, you did realize that there are security guards around.
Oh.
Most of them are still dressed nicely, but you can see they look to be more scanning and blending in with the party, but not quite guests. With a 19 as well, I'll say that especially now that everything is gray again and you still see this pink trail, no one else seems to look at the pink trail. You think this is a product of where you are rather than that this tiny Lenore was leaving pink glow behind her or something. That is denoted to this memory.
Okay.
I'm going for the doorknob.
As you do that, I'm going to activate emboldening bond on the three of us.
The door does not open, but you quickly realize there's color and light on the other side, and the door almost starts to disappear. It's still there, but it almost becomes a bit less opaque, like you can start to see through it. And seeing the inside, you see that you are looking into a guest room that looks like no one is currently using. And you watch as this tiny Lenore flies into the middle of the room, breathing heavy a little bit. And she breathes in real big and belches. And bubbles expel from her mouth. And as they do, you see she grows into the still small-sized Lenore that you are familiar with. She has a fancy handbag on her back and she throws it onto this bed and opens it up. And you can see she pulls out a few pieces of paper. She stuffs one in her front pocket and unfurls 2 others. From where you are, you'd think, I really can't see these. Except it's almost like you can see further into the distance than you'd expect. You are a good 20, 30 feet away. But when you look at the pieces of paper, you imagine them closer to your face and you can see them.
Whoa.
One looks to be blueprints to the mansion you are in. They are not complete by any means, and they're drawn in crayon. You can see a room with a lock and a star on it. And then the other piece of paper is a hand-drawn, also in crayon, picture of a fairy with the name Lady Merrick written on the top. She looks like Lenore, but a bit older and has brown hair and a bit of a wider face than Lenore does. There's also not a ton of detail in this drawing, so it's hard to tell exactly. And as you watch, Lenore opens up that picture, places it on the bed, and she steps back, casts Disguise Self, and boom, she looks like the drawing. A bit older of a fairy with brown hair. She puts back the 2 pieces of paper in her bag and takes a deep breath and looks at herself in the mirror, looking at her new form. A minute or so goes by, and you can see she pulls out a small case that she opens, and inside is the Dreamkeeper's feather, the very one that you all stole back from Darien in Twin Rivers. She just picks it up briefly, runs her fingers through it, twirls it back and forth, and puts it back into its case, back into her bag. She throws it over her shoulder. She takes one more deep breath, and she starts flying directly towards you guys out the door. And as she opens the door, you see that she turns completely gray, as does everything in the room that you can now see.
What the heck? That's who Lady Merrick is. Lady Merrick is who I got accused of not being when they were kicking me out.
Whoa.
They were like confusing me for her. One guy was like, "Oh, you're not Lady Merrick," and he threw plates at me. And then this other guy was like, "Oh, apologies, you're not Lady Merrick."
And who is Lady Merrick?
I don't know.
She must have some sort of significance here.
Well, yeah.
From the face that we see on this Disguise Self, there's no like paintings in here or pictures of this Lady Merrick?
Oh.
Any sort of like insignias?
You have not seen any. I will say you do know this face, especially since it's a statue in front of you basically now.
Yeah.
The blueprint, did she like kind of fold it up and put it away? Or is that somewhere in the room?
So she has folded it up and put it away.
I'd like to try to get that blueprint.
You think about it, Santos, and you are able to enter into this room now. Everything here is gray, the mirror, the bed. And you walk over and you just look at where it was on the bed, and you can picture it like a photograph. It's like you're looking at it, even though it's not there. You just concentrate on it hard enough.
And it has a room indicated, right?
There is one room that has a lock on it and a star denoted in it, like it's important. And it is on the 2nd floor next to a balcony overlooking the ballroom.
Ballroom's on the 1st floor?
Yeah. The ballroom's really tall, and there's almost like a walkway that goes all the way around that kind of looks down. And then at the northern end, there's literally like a balcony that comes out for someone to address the ballroom.
Should I go up to that balcony?
Yes. I think we should try to go to that balcony and maybe see if we can get into that room. And to Lenore that's frozen, I'm going to call her not Lenore. I'm assuming that she was heading in the direction of this marked room. So whatever direction her body language is pointing, I'm going to follow that with my eyes and see if I find like stairs up or something that leads to the 2nd floor or balcony.
Join us at patreon.com/castparty for a whole plethora of exclusive goodies. 5-day early access to every Cast Party episode, including Nocturne, ad-free episodes, behind-the-scenes info, exclusive bonus monthly one-shots, access to our community Discord, where our community plays D&D games together, has game nights, and hosts so much more, all for less than the price of a single cup of coffee per month. Aren't convinced? Try out a free trial. 7 days free to check out the content that we offer only exclusively on our Patreon. Patreon.com/castparty. Support your favorite D&D podcast, all while getting some awesome perks. Patreon.com/castparty. See you there, casting crew.
You see that as she has opened the door, it looks like she's trying to make a left turn, which you know goes back to the ballroom.
Okay.
It looks like she used this as a pit stop almost. She got into the ballroom. She needed to transform, And it looks like she's going back to the ballroom.
I'm just gonna fly straight up.
Me too.
Past me. And current me.
Yeah, you guys follow out into the ballroom once more, and you see that balcony. You see that all the people that were just here are no longer where they were when you had just left them, and there are more people now. Still like statues, gray world around you, and you can see now that you're back in the ballroom, you watch as there's another pink trail that leads to a different statue of Lenore, now disguised as Lady Merrick. And she's frozen in the air, and she's swooping down, and her hand is outstretched towards a small sailboat that is on the ground.
What's that?
Gonna approach that pink light trail. But I'm definitely just like looking back at Lenore constantly. Does any of this feel familiar to you yet, Lenore?
I'm gonna look around for a big centaur.
Yeah, you see one.
Is it the guy who yelled at me?
Doesn't look like it. Looks like a different one.
Okay.
This one's currently spinning 2 plates on his horns. But obviously they're not moving.
No, I don't recognize any of this.
Okay.
I'm gonna fly up to the sailboat, I guess.
Yeah, you see it's like maybe 4 inches tall or so. It's just a really tiny sailboat, and it looks like this statue of Lenore is like bending down, hand towards it.
I look at the other two.
Guess grab it.
Can you move it?
I grab it.
You pick up the sailboat.
Oh no.
I feel it.
It's weird. Yeah, it feels like the warmth of the treasure chest a little bit, but there's no texture to it. Even though it's obviously like this is made of like wood and painted or maybe foam or something. It looks like it's like a little diorama almost of a sailboat.
If I hold it on top of my hand in front of my face and blow at it, does it move or do anything?
No, the sails don't move at all, and it doesn't move.
Can I try to like break it? Open it up?
You start to, and it feels like it's obviously not one solid object, but when you're starting to pull it, it's acting like it is. It's acting like it exists this way.
I throw it down.
You throw it down, does not make a sound. It has hit the ground.
Where's the pink light right now?
The pink light led to the statue of Lenore bending down with her hand outstretched.
I want to grab the sailboat and I'm going to give it back to real Lenore. And as I give it back to you, what if you hand this to that Lenore? It seems like she's reaching for it.
Okay. Fly down oh so delicately and like slowly place the sailboat into past me's hand.
As you put it back into her hand, all of the color and sound rushes in once again.
Yes.
As this other vision of Lenore finishes picking up the sailboat now that it's in her hand and taps a nearby elven man on the shoulder. And she hands the sailboat back to him. And you see him thank her profusely, and he places the sailboat back on the track. The dress he is wearing has a bunch of half-pipe tubes hanging from his body all around him that has water constantly flowing through, up, and around. And the sailboat, now staying in the track, makes its way up and around his body over and over again. And just at that moment, as Lenore is like smiling and nodding and looks like she's about to continue moving, the band stops playing, and everyone here looks up to a nearby balcony. This is the one that Lenore, you remember looking at in the previous memory. And you know that there's this locked room somewhere nearby this balcony on the 2nd floor. And there is a man standing here and putting his hand up for everyone to be quiet. He is a Vulpin, a foxfolk. He has primarily dark brown fur, but with more of that typical orange color throughout, almost as accents to his fur. He's wearing a long green cloak cinched around the neck. And on top of that, he's wearing a tight corset. He also has a fabric crown of tassels across his forehead. He addresses the crowd. Distinguished guests, welcome to our annual soiree. I see many of you vying for the Best Dress Award. I wonder who will take home gold this year, huh? I can't wait to party with you all. I will be down in just a moment. I have some business to attend to. But please, make yourselves at home. And you watch as he waves and people cheer or raise their glasses to him as he takes a bow and moves away from the balcony. And as you watch, he goes towards a doorway that he enters and closes.
Wait! Is there any way I can get in there with him before the door closes?
I'll say this. As you start to fly up and see, from here, you start to see areas of the ballroom as you fly upward that are not just gray, but they are dark black.
Whoa.
Like a void, like there's nothing there. When you're looking down hallways and things from this upper portion, and as you watch this man open the door, all you see behind it is a dark black void.
What if I try?
You're welcome to. Go ahead and roll me, I guess, dexterity or initiative, I guess. Let's just do an initiative roll.
Initiative.
14.
Okay, I'm going to say that's enough. You are enthralled with this balcony. So you fly upward the instant that this guy gets up onto the balcony. And you know, because nobody's interacting with you, who cares if you're flying up here, and you're watching him address. And he opens that door and you are able to rush through it before he closes it. Tevin and Santos, you watch as this version of Lenore on the ground is staring at that door for quite some time before the colors start to fade to gray and the party stops moving all around. But you watch as Lenore is able to get in and behind that door. And Lenore, as you do so, you get into kind of this inky blackness a moment, and there's nothing around you, not even the man here. But as everything turns to gray out there, it turns to gray in here as well. And there's a couple of things here that you do see. Not a lot of it's in detail, and I'm going to ask you to roll me perception to see what you can make out of this.
Ooh, 18 minus 2, 16.
Okay, the 16. There's a few things here, and there's outlines of a very regal royal bed. There's a dresser with a mirror on it. So big wardrobe in the back. There is in the back right corner, it's a bathtub, but it is made to look like a natural lagoon with a waterfall and lily pads and nice plants and around. And as you enter into this room, you see these things. And then in the back left and back right corners behind you as you enter, there is this darkness. And with this perception, I'm going to say that you're able to figure out this is a memory. So you can only really see what Lenore has seen. And the only way she would have seen these parts of the room is if she never entered the room, but was looking in from the door or the doorway somehow.
Mm-hmm.
She sees the rest of the room, but she can't see what's blocked by the walls.
Mm-hmm. Well, if I turn around, what's the door look like?
Ooh, I guess the door would be in inky black, except you see a keyhole.
Can I fly through it? The door?
I think in this case you can.
Okay, I go back.
So you fly through it back to the ballroom, and now when you turn around, it looks like a normal door. I should say this is a very ornately carved door. It is carved with intricate detail. There is a frame of vines all the way around it, and then a carving of a landscape on the center with animals and beasts and fae. There's depictions of magic, depictions of different plants. Everywhere you look, there's something else. It's like this smorgasbord of innately carved things. The door itself is dark mahogany, and it's got these gold accents painted over the highest ridges of the carving.
Whoa, that was the fanciest room I've ever seen. What I did see of it. I can only see what I ever saw in the past. So it was just like a couple of the corners of it. But I didn't get trapped. That's cool.
Oh, what do we do next?
Oh, what's me doing?
Yeah.
You fly back down towards where Santos and Tevin are, and you see that there is a faint pink aura heading away from the ballroom.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Following it, you recognize you are moving through the servants' quarters, where they're preparing the meals for the guests. And you're following this trail of pink light, and you're watching as it's ducking underneath tables and even into cabinets as it makes its way through these various corridors, like Lenore was ducking in and out of hiding from sight. Something you don't need to do because everything around you is still very gray. Once you get past these servants' quarters, there is a small staircase that you head up and find yourself in what looks to be a much less traveled hallway. There are no guests up here, but there is Lenore as Lady Merrick. She's standing in a windowsill, and her eyes are open wide, and her fingers are outstretched, about to grab a curtain, and looks to be about to pull it in front of her like she's trying to hide. And then ahead of you, you see there's a goat person here in a waiter's uniform holding a cloche, and he's frozen mid-stride walking down the hallway towards where this Lenore is attempting to hide.
Can I move the curtain over her?
You do so. And moving that, you see time once again starts as color rushes back, and the goat person, quickly walking down this hallway, does not even turn his head to this kind of window where Lenore is hiding behind. And he heads down the stairs that you guys just entered from. Watching Lenore, you see she jumps down from the window and continues down this hallway. And she pulls out a metallic key, and she flies to a set of double doors where she doesn't insert the key, but rather taps the key on the door, and you can hear it unlock. And Lenore enters the room, and everything goes gray.
No pink?
There's a light pink glow from inside this room.
Open it.
Yep.
Yeah.
The door's kind of still open because this Lenore is stuck inside this, so you guys can walk right through.
Oh, great.
This other Lenore has entered into so you see two of them now. One that has just opened the door, another one that is at a filing cabinet. It is this fanciful office that is brightly lit from a large window in the back of the room. And there's an organized filing cabinet, and you can see that she's about to open the drawer.
Is she still disguised?
Yep.
Okay. Open the drawer.
Mm-hmm.
As you do, color comes back. You can see the door behind you is closed. That other Lenore is just gone. And you can see her thumbing through some of these files, and she goes straight for the letter D. And she pulls out a file that is labeled Dreamkeeper. And she quickly rifles through it. She looks through the information pretty quickly, like she knows what she's looking for, until her eyes linger on a specific document, and she flips the page around. You can see blueprints and drawings for a magical cage, like a prison with no escape. It looks like there were some dates and when and where this was to be built, and they're from a few dozen years ago. You can see that Lenore thinks hard a moment, copies down some of this information before putting the file back into the cabinet, grabbing her stuff and heading for the door, where she again turns to a statue as she opens it, and everything turns gray.
Did we have enough time to see any of that information, like the dates or when and where? Because if there is, I would try to jot that down.
Much like the blueprints, it's gone, but you just imagining it on the desk, you can see everything in full detail.
So we kind of have that blueprint for this magical cage, the dates, and when and where it was to be built.
It's not super descriptive of where, other than that it would be part of an addition to the mansion. It seems like some of this stuff is actually redacted of exactly where it would be.
Okay. I'm following myself.
Mm-hmm.
Following another line of this pink aura, you watch as this Lenore moved again quickly and again was ducking in and out of hiding spots that she could fit into or just to get out of sight. You see she took a moment behind a pillar, and in this area you can see she looks down over onto the ballroom. Since you guys are now upstairs, you can see the party still and motionless below, and she continued to move across the balcony where the Vulpin man was standing and towards the door off to the side that he had went through. This is the door that you, Lenore, just snuck through. As you approach it, you see a gray, motionless Lenore in front of it, and her hand is reaching towards the door knob, but not the knob itself. Just below the knob, where a keyhole would be, there's a golden covering over the keyhole, and it looks like her hand is going to that.
A golden covering, like one that you can just slide to the side?
Yeah. And you guys are now seeing how intricately carved and beautiful this door is. It looks like this is just for aesthetics, so you don't see the keyhole until you need it.
Swing the cover out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
After you move the cover blocking the keyhole, again, everything begins to move. You watch as Lenore, she puts her eye up to the keyhole and is looking through it. And as she does, very much what happened earlier, this door in front of you almost fades where it's still there, but you can start to see through it, looking at what Lenore must be looking at through the keyhole. Inside, again, we went over this. It's a very ornate bedroom, and it very much matches the ornate vibe of the door. There's a bed fit for a king, large terrarium with these plants, and a bathtub, like I mentioned before, all of this really beautiful stuff. But notably, you watch as the Vulpin man enters into the room, or I should say back into the room. There is a wardrobe that you saw, Lenore, on the far side, and he exits out of it with anger on his face. And he walks to that dresser with the mirror atop it, and he stares deeply at himself, takes a breath. No matter what I do, you won't answer my wish. And he takes a small case from his back pocket and he opens it and reveals a Dreamkeeper feather, shining in its opalescent glory, just like the one Lenore had pulled out in the other room. You gave me all of this. A lonely street fox dying in the gutter, who only wanted a taste of the good life. Now it has been years, and you still refuse to answer my next wish. And you see he glances towards the now closed wardrobe as if he's talking to it. I have fed you. I have starved you. I have treated you kindly and harshly. I have tried to reason with you. I have tried to force the magic out of you. What do I have to do? And he screams, and it echoes in the room and even out towards the ballroom. And you can see a couple of people, their eyes dart towards the balcony, but it looks like only a few people even noticed. And the man realized he got loud and looks towards the door and steels himself before continuing. All of these people out there with your feathers, waiting for their precious dreams to be heard, be listened to by you, for their selfish desires to be granted, and you refuse them because you are here with me. Those poor people who you gifted a great power, they feel betrayed by you. If only you were out there to help them. And he puts his hand down on a decorative rock that is on the dresser in front of the mirror, and it glows slightly, and the mirror begins to move on its own, revealing a hidden alcove behind it. If you won't grant wishes for me, you won't grant them for anyone else. And you see he takes the feather and places it within the alcove. He affixes it to a headdress that is on display here. It's a feathered headdress filled with bright white feathers, the same size and shape as the Dreamkeepers. But at the front, just over the forehead, is a special place for 5 feathers. And he places the Dreamkeeper's feather he holds in the center, right between 4 more feathers, all glowing in opalescent color. This version of Lenore gasps as she sees the other feathers. And you see the man whips his head towards the sound of the gasp. And he takes his hand off the rock and starts rushing towards the door. And Lenore's eyes go wide as she quickly begins flying away. And as the man reaches the door and Lenore flies down a nearby hallway, everything goes gray once more.
Uh-oh.
What does he mean by wishes, Lenore?
Well, the Dreamkeeper granted wishes. And then the feathers are supposed to grant a single wish, right? But they don't work anymore? Because he's trapped the Dreamkeeper.
Is the Dreamkeeper in the wardrobe?
Yeah, the cage is probably in there.
Why would he do such a thing?
'Cause he's an asshole. I don't know.
It seems so wrong.
It is wrong.
Yeah. We can look in, but we're not going to see anything that I haven't seen before.
Oh, let's go chase down previous you.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Off we go.
I'll try to chase me.
You end up following this pink aura back all the way to the ballroom. Down a different hallway, down a different staircase. Again, Lenore ducking in and out of places. And you finally see Lenore frozen in time, and she is among the crowd. She's reaching her hand out with an empty wine glass and looks to be about to put it on a busboy's tray to be taken away. I'll also say that this seems like it's much further into the night. Even the light coming in from the windows is darker. People's dresses are a bit more disheveled, maybe not completely ruined. People's hair, it looks really nice at the start of the night. It gets a little worse.
Take the glass out and put it on the tray.
As you do so, Color comes back and she nods to the busboy and he does a little nod as he walks away, and you see Lenore start to fly further through the crowd. And this for you, Lenore, is very familiar. The placement of the individuals, the song that is playing, it is the memory you've seen before.
Oh no, it's centaur time.
Uh-oh.
You were eyeing the balcony that the Foxman had been speaking at, the door that he'd gone through that you were just sitting at. You watch as this version of Lenore was flying through the crowd, accidentally bumped into a centaur who initially apologized but said, "You aren't Lady Merrick. Guards!" And the entire ballroom turned on you. You began flying away from the crowd, trying to escape, and you were hit out of the air by a serving plate being thrown at you.
Oh.
And when that collision hits Lenore, you all feel a jerking motion.
Oh.
Like the whole memory is collapsing around you as you are ejected from the door back to the tunnel leading to the marble building in the mental train. And as you land, it's quiet for just a second before you hear the door on the other side shoots open, and you hear Jackal and Bjorg screaming as they too land back in the tunnel.
What?
And for today, that's a wrap.
Oh.
Ooh.
Well.
Well.
This is fun. We did the LeDoor. We did
the
LeDoor.
LeDoor.
the Bjor was last time. And this was LeDoor.
Oh my god.
Beautiful. And our group's back together.
Yay.
Hey, so exciting. If you want to see what happens next, you'll have to go listen to us in 2 weeks. I was going to say have to follow on Patreon, but that's not true. You do have to go do that. You have to go to Patreon right now and subscribe.
Required.
So that you can listen to us talk about this episode on Behind the Scenes, a bunch of other fun things like our after parties. I did a secret pungeon, which is our pun dungeon series, which is one of the most fun things to do. And Vince hates puns. So if you want to hear him just get really angry at me for an hour and a half or so,
love it.
You'll have to subscribe, get the after party, and endure the pungeon alongside him.
Amazing.
But other than that, we'll see you in 2 weeks, and we'll maybe complete the mental training for once. I don't know. We'll see.
For what?
It's our last
try.
Yeah, beautiful. We
No
will
more
see you all then.
doors.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, what's this in the folder? A list of previously made wishes the Dreamkeeper is granted? A new guy wished corn would pop into a tasty treat. That was you? That was such a good wish. Bass drop, riches beyond his wildest dreams. Classic. Havoc Hopsack wanted to own a castle, was given a sandcastle. It rained the next day. Bummer. Jonas wished eggs would smell worse. Is that why they smell kind of weird sometimes? Dubward wished to be two little guys in a trench coat. Wonder if that's like a clone thing? Frosted Gears wished to have elite art skills. Ooh, I wonder what kind of things she makes. Saint E. Love wished to be able to fly inside a mechanical device, like a plane. He wanted to be on a plane. Eric 5 wished for world peace, was given a rock, like a piece of the world. Okay. Heather wished to be able to see far into the distance. Apparently she got turned into a hawk, and she loves it. Jusky Fire wished to be able to dance like a jellyfish. That's such a weird request, but I can kind of see what she means. Kaylee wished for superpowers. She now is a chef at a local tavern. Apparently the best soup in town. Kana wished for a genie's lamp to get 3 more wishes out of the deal. But the lamp was already used, so just got a lamp out of the deal. Why are they called lamps anyway if there's no light bulb? Lexi wished for the powers to manipulate time, was turned into a clock. Matt wished for the power to read people's thoughts. Apparently, he could only read them in Celestial. He doesn't know Celestial. Max wished for the power to go invisible. He could do it, but now no one can see him or hear him. Ever. He's very lonely. Oh. Mason wished for the power to be super intelligent. He apparently is hard to be around now because he just knows everything. Michael wished for a pound of bacon. That's it? Only a pound? I guess when you know what you want, it's easy to make that decision. Opti wished for the sun to explode? What? But nothing here changed, except there was a star in the night sky that went out. That's not a good sign. Ryan wished for his long-lost leg to be back. Apparently that just worked and everything is going great for him. He seems like he really needed that. Storm Rider wished for rain. Nothing else, just rain. That seems pretty vague. Like, what do you even get out of that? Bubba wished for eternal life. Apparently he turns 300 next year, and he's human. He isn't doing anything crazy either, just living a normal life. Man, these are wild. I wonder what I would wish for.